Rat facts. The Grant. In 1940, the US found itself in need of a medium tank, and at around the same time, the UK found itself in need of about 4,000 new tanks. To solve this problem for both countries, the US commissioned the design of the M3 starting in July 1940. The turret for this new tank would need to be designed in two different forms for the two different countries, because British doctrine specified that the radio had to be next to the commander. So the tanks made the way the US wanted would be called M3 Lees, in reference to Robert E. Lee from the American Civil War. And the ones made to British standards would be called the Grant, in reference to Ulysses S. Grant, also from the American Civil War. The M3 was a very reliable tank that also had considerable firepower, good armor, and high mobility. However, it did come with some pretty serious drawbacks, mostly having to do with its high silhouette and riveted construction, which was a pretty serious problem for the US considering that their armored tactical units lacked the tactical expertise to overcome its design. But despite all this, the M3 was able to be very effective on the battlefield from 1942 until 1943. This had a lot to do with the fact that the M3 was able to operate out of the range of the Panzer IV at the time. However, by mid-1943, the updated versions of the Panzer III and IV with better armaments were introduced, rendering these tanks mostly useless in Europe, and they would soon be replaced with the M4 Sherman. However, the British would continue to use their Grants against the Japanese in Southeast Asia until 1945, and not to mention, nearly 100 M3s were supplied to the Soviet Union under the Lend-Lease Act between 1941 and 1943.